Okay, today's lesson is about identifying artworks, specifically how to read art labels, and eventually you're going to be figuring out how to create your own based on the information that you receive in today's lesson. The objectives today are to be able to correctly identify information from artwork labels in a variety of contexts. So we're going to be looking specifically at the textbook, which we're going to be more familiar with in the classroom. When we go visit galleries, we'll be taking a look at exhibition labels, but also we're going to be viewing a lot of artworks online, and it's important to know where to look and how to gather information about online labeling. From this information, you should be able to correctly create your own art label based on the exemplars used in this particular lesson. So, first, we need to think about where are we going to be finding a label. These labels that we're going to be looking at right now deal specifically with labels in exhibition spaces. Typically, as you can see from the illustration, they're located on the wall next to the artwork. Right? And when you're creating an exhibition, you're going to be making sure that these labels are the same distance from the artworks consistently throughout the exhibition space. And also, you need to be thinking about what the label is printed on in order to find it. In some cases, they'll be printed on a white card. In other instances, you'll see that they're printed on a transparent label that's stuck to the wall. And this is often going to depend on the color of the wall in the exhibition space. This example, you can see some important information. Up at the top, we can see the artist's name, Utagawa Hiroshi from Japan. We see his date of birth of 1797 and the year of his death in 1858. The next line we see is the title, Bush Warbler, and the years in which it was created. Now, the reason that there's a range here of dates is because they're not exactly sure when this particular piece was created. They know it was created between 1830 and 1837, so that's why we have a range of dates. In some instances, it will be a specific date because the date is really well known. But for larger pieces, large sculptures for example, it could take potentially years for it to complete. So in some instances, the first date will be the date in which the work was started, the second date, the year in which the work was completed. Right? Down at the bottom, we see woodblock print. It's telling us what media the artwork was made from. And the last two lines are for works that are typically on display in public museums, such as the Art Gallery of Ontario, the Royal Ontario Museum, the National Gallery of Canada in Ottawa. In many cases, a lot of the works are donated to these larger public institutions, and as recognition, the names of the people who give the artwork are often included on the art labels, and then the 1971.131.19 is the cataloging number of the artwork within the entire institution's catalog. Okay. This label here you probably typically see in a smaller, potentially a commercial gallery. Again, you're seeing the name of the artist up at the very top, the title of the artwork, the year in which it was created. We're seeing the material that was used, as well as where the artwork came from or who purchased it. In this instance, we also see a little bit of a small artist type statement that's put below the label to contextualize the artwork. This one is sort of a combination of the two. This time the title of the artwork and the artist's name are reversed, so we have the title up at the top, the specific year of 1778 in which it was made, the artist's name, Thomas Gainsborough. In this case, we also see his nationality in that he is from England, the year that he was born to the year that he died, and again, the media. This time we have a small bit of biographical information about the sitter in order to help, again, contextualize the work. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see the cataloging information, and down in the bottom right-hand corner, you see a little play button with a 706. In many contemporary galleries, there's going to be an audio guide that accompanies an exhibition, and that's the playback information in order to get more information about the particular piece. In books, it's a little bit more challenging, right? In the exhibitions, the label is consistently put with the artworks, but on a printed page, there's a variety of reasons why the label isn't necessarily next to the image, right? If there's a full page spread, then they don't want the text interfering with the image, so they'll put it on another page. Right? So what we need to do is we need to look for different type of text, because the text is usually different from that of the body copy or the article in which you're reading. Right? And we'll see changes in font, a change in formatting style in order to highlight the labeling information. Now, this particular label here is from the Art and Focus textbook, and you can see the identifying information that this is figure 17.8. It tells us the chapter, right? It's chapter 17. It's the 8th image in the chapter, and there's a little bit of a citation or a caption in order to, again, provide a little bit of additional information to the artwork. The horizontal line separates the caption from the artwork information. Again, we have the artist, Roger van der Weyden, the title, Portrait of a Lady, and you'll notice that this is italicized, and that the C, little c, and then the period means circa 1460. It means that it was made in and around that year. Again, we see the media that was used of oil on panel, and really important for in a textbook or a magazine is the dimensions, the size, in order for the viewer to get a good sense of what the actual work is in terms of its real size, because in a textbook it's hard to gauge the actual dimensions. We also see that the information as to where the artwork is currently located and what collection it's in. In magazines, this one comes out of C Magazine, a Canadian publication, and down here in the bottom left corner of the page is a citation information. You can see that it's a smaller print set aside, but the proximity to the artwork is quite far, and this is what you need to be careful with. You need to be able to look for this change in formatting in order to be able to identify the artwork correctly. Websites are even a little bit more challenging because in many cases there is no information. Many independent bloggers don't cite the images that they are using properly, making it difficult for you to actually find out the name of the image that you are looking at. Also, because of the advantage of using hypertext or dynamic text on a website, the information just simply may be hidden or collapsed within a sort of a nesting set of drawers, so to speak. So this is from the Google Art Project, right? A really simple, an excellent resource tool where some of the leading art institutions around the world are uploading some of the images for people to use and to look at. This one you can see is from the Art Gallery of Ontario. Typically, there's nothing but the image on the screen until you hit the details button. And this is what I mean by like a collapsible drawer. All of these details are hidden. All you get is the artwork, okay? And the artist's name, okay? And the title. So this is called Upward Trend, made in 1937 by Emily Carr, and it is housed currently at the Art Gallery of Ontario. But from here, right, we get the dimensions, we get the type, and there's a scroll bar here, and that when you go down, you can reveal even more information. In an online environment, you're going to have to spend a little bit more time digging and looking for this information about artworks. Another excellent resource is the Hilbrun Timeline of Art History from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. It's a wealth of information, excellent images, but it also comes with a lot of essays and a lot of information about particular artworks as well. Um, this particular website is using a more common or standard format. Just to the right of the image, you can see the title of the artwork, the artist's name of Thomas Ruff, right, in the year that he was born. Because there is no second date, he's still living. We see the media, we see the dimensions, and again we see the information regarding the who owns it or what collection the work is in. So these are some of the important things that you're needing to take a look for. Okay, you need to make sure that you're able to identify the title. Okay, when you are looking for work and when you're labeling your own, you need to have the artist's name. You need to have the media. You need to have the year in which the work was made. And you need to be thinking about the dimensions. How large or how small is the work? And putting the dimensions into your label as well. When you're looking for labels, look carefully. When you're labeling your own, make sure that you include all of this pertinent information.